FIGU, Sign of the Times, 58 Easter Monday, 10.4. 2023.
Dear, I would like to take a moment to thank Billy from the bottom of my heart for all the new information, and especially for the reports on neutrality. I recommend these reports on neutrality to all who wish to read them and ask me to do so. You know, I cried practically all day on the 28th of February 2022 when the President of the Confederation announced exactly the opposite of what he said on the news on the 24th of February 2022. It was clear to me why Mizzy, afterwards he behaved in such bad taste, made the most stupid statements, and finally even embraced Zelensky in Kiev and praised him ad nauseum. A real disgrace and shameful for every resident in Switzerland. Almost most of those to whom I complained about my concern about giving up neutrality after 28.2, 22 laughed at me and said that it was correct to turn off the tap to these war people. This would not mean the end of our neutrality. I then asked them why the Americans, for example, had not been sanctioned in all their endless wars of aggression and, above all, why the mainstream media had hardly ever reported what had happened in Ukraine since 2014, and how many human lives had been lost there up to the 24th of February 2022, and that Ukraine was by no means a lovely independent country. Most of them suddenly became questioning. You can imagine how beneficial all the reports from Billy and the extraterrestrial friends have been for me since then, and how much I feel confirmed in my grief, which has not stopped to this day. Since then, I have been listening to Thomas Roper's conversation with Robert Stein every fortnight, and have bought books by Roper. I also look more often at the Anti-Spiegel. That's also where I found the article I sent you back then. Said long before 2000 that he only hoped that Swiss citizens would never sink into such prosperity, that they would also give up neutrality in their arrogance. Is unfortunately no longer alive. The machinations of the Federal Council would break his heart. For he knew what war is, and as a boy felt very strongly what it means when your father is away, and you never know whether war could suddenly rage in this country too, despite our neutrality. He also experienced how frugal people were with everything during the war, food, tools, etc. If we hadn't had a federal councillor Rudolf Minger and a General Henri Guisan, Switzerland probably wouldn't have been spared, whatever that meant. Billy also knows a lot more about that. Our current federal councillors have obviously never experienced anything like this, and have also never thought deeply about it. Women in particular are also a true evil in Switzerland and are in no way equal to this high office. An office that, in addition to high leadership skills, also requires a great deal of sensitivity, love for the country and its people, and a minimum knowledge of Swiss history. But one can look for all this in vain. The red carpet, prestige, might, and a secure income lure this more than careful work. Once again, my heartfelt thanks to Billy for his constant perseverance, even though he is always zero our love, and thanks for everything to you, to Billy, and to all who know me.
Dear Billy Meyer, what they are doing up there in Bern in the federal parliament is not only disgraceful and wickedly criminal, but it is knocking the bottom out of all the barrels. Not only are they destroying neutrality and thus the security of Switzerland, but these ineffectual idiots, whether they are men or women, are also bringing all of us Swiss and our country into disrepute. Such idiots do not belong at the helm of the state, but they are still being highly paid for their sick stupidity and their ineptitude and their betrayal of our neutrality. Many greetings from all of us. We are 21 persons, and we give you permission to publish our letter if you wish. EK.
Note Billy. Signed, 21st signatures plus address and tell. No.